How to gain true influence over any woman. Gaining influence is not about manipulation, deceit, or control, it's about mastering yourself first. True influence over a woman, or anyone, begins with becoming a man of high value, strength, and purpose. A high-value man commands respect naturally. He does not beg, chase, or plead. He leads. He sets standards. He walks away from disrespect. Women are drawn to the aura of a man who knows his worth and refuses to compromise it for anyone. If you want to truly influence a woman, focus on building unshakable confidence. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's the silent power that tells the world you know who you are. Speak less. Act more. Let your presence say everything. Mastering emotional control, never let emotions dictate your actions. Stay composed in every situation. Women test emotional strength, not out of malice, but to seek security. Show them you are unbreakable. Living a purpose-driven life, a man with a mission is magnetic. His life is full, with or without anyone. Women respect and desire a man who is going somewhere, who invites them into his journey, not his emptiness. Setting boundaries without fear, say what you mean. Mean what you say. And be willing to walk away if your boundaries are crossed. Power lies in the ability to say no, and mean it. Projecting high value, through your body language, your speech, your style, your habits. High value is communicated without bragging or begging. It's felt. You don't control a woman by force. You inspire her to choose you, again and again, by being a man who cannot be easily replaced. The first law of power. The moment you need her, you lose her. Say it aloud. Tattoo it onto your mind. Because until you master this truth, nothing else matters. You don't gain control through persuasion. You don't gain power by chasing, pleasing, or proving. You gain it the moment you realize you never needed her in the first place. Power is born in detachment. Influence is forged in indifference to loss. Control flows to the man who can walk away without hesitation, and never look back. The great lie: you were sold. Since boyhood, you were programmed. Conditioned. Broken. Taught that to win a woman you must sacrifice your dignity. Shrink your dreams. Bow to her moods. Abandon your mission for a seat at her table. You were taught that love means chasing. That masculinity is toxic. That strength is a threat. That softness is your virtue. And they called it romance. But the truth is this. Every ounce of desperation you show weakens her desire for you. Every act of self-betrayal you commit makes her respect you less. Every time you make her the center of your world, you exile yourself from hers. They didn't teach you to love. They taught you to submit. This message is not for every man. This message isn't for the comfortable. It isn't for the man who still hopes to be saved. It's for the man who's tired. Tired of being invisible. Tired of giving more than he gets. Tired of performing for women who no longer see his worth. It's for the man who is ready to stop chasing crumbs and start building a kingdom. If that's you, right now, declare it aloud. Backhand index pointing right, I choose power. Because everything changes from this moment forward. Understand this, women crave leadership, not neediness. She doesn't crave the man who worships her. She craves the man who doesn't need her. Not the man texting 12 times a day. Not the man explaining, apologizing, tiptoeing. Not the man panicking at every moment of silence. She is drawn. Magnetically, instinctively. To the man who moves forward without her permission. The man whose presence says, I want you, but I do not need you. And if you fail to respect me, I will leave without hesitation, without anger, without explanation. That is the man she submits to. Not through fear. Not through manipulation, but through respect and desire. Why needing her destroys you? The second you place her at the center of your universe, you become small in her eyes. She can sense it. In the anxious frequency of your texts. In the way you sacrifice your time and dignity. In how you abandon your dreams just to fit into hers. And with every act of self-betrayal, you lose her respect. Not because she is cruel, but because you taught her that you are less. A woman cannot love a man who abandons himself. She might use him. She might tolerate him. But she will never respect, desire, or submit to him. How to rebuild, step by step. Step 1, withdraw your focus. Cut the emotional umbilical cord. Withdraw every ounce of energy you've poured into monitoring her mood, her texts, her attention. Redirect it all inward. She is not the mission. You are. Step 2, obsess over your own greatness. Make yourself the object of your obsession. Wake up before the sun. Sweat until weakness evaporates. Read until ignorance starves to death. Build skills until you become a weapon. Your body, mind, and soul must become fortresses, unbreakable, undeniable, unstoppable. Step 3, build without permission. Forge your life like an empire under siege. Cut off draining people without apology. Track your habits like your survival depends on them. Build your wealth. Shape your body. Sharpen your mind. Become so busy leveling up that her attention becomes an afterthought. Step 4, suffer voluntarily. Chase discomfort. Seek cold showers. Seek heavy lifts. Seek difficult conversations. Seek rejection. The man who suffers voluntarily cannot be broken involuntarily. He is the rock. The standard. The frame. She will feel it. Even if she can't explain it, she will sense it. And she will either rise to meet your standard or fall away. Either way, you win. What happens when you reclaim yourself? Suddenly, you stop analyzing her silence. You stop fearing her departure. You stop negotiating your worth. Instead, you become a force. And she feels it. And she feels it. Not because you told her. But because you became it. She will chase you without knowing why. She will soften without understanding how. She will submit, not because you demanded it, but because your energy leaves her no other choice. The art of silent leadership. The man who leads does not beg for followers. He does not announce his power. He simply moves. And the world adjusts to him. No chasing. No convincing. No explaining. He builds so relentlessly, so fearlessly, that she must sprint to keep up, or be left behind. That is leadership. That is masculine energy at its purest form. Final truth, rejection is a mirror, not a verdict. When she leaves, when they mock, when the doors slam shut. It is not a death sentence. It is a revelation. It shows you exactly where you still need to grow. It reveals the parts of you that must be rebuilt in fire, not comfort. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your summons. You are not a victim. You are a builder. A king in the making. Your code moving forward. Accept reality without resistance. Stop bleeding energy over what is already gone. Reframe every setback. Every loss was a gift dressed as pain. Reinvest everything into yourself. Let every ounce of heartbreak fund your greatness. Led without chasing. You are the mission. You are the prize. You are the gravity. Remember this forever. You can spend your life chasing women. Or you can spend it building a life so powerful, women chase you. Every boy learns early, chase. Chase her attention. Chase her laughter. Chase her validation like a man dying of thirst in a desert. Movies taught you. Music taught you. The men around you, broken, hollowed out, kneeling at the altar of approval, taught you. And so you chased. You learned to send endless texts hoping for a reply. Read her silence like it held the secrets to your worth. Craft your every word to impress, to convince, to win her over. And for what? Scraps. Moments of attention. A fleeting smile. A night of passion followed by days of anxiety. The chase turns men into beggars. Into shells of themselves. Into echoes instead of architects. But here's the truth few are ever bold enough to tell you. The man who chases is never the man who commands. Because chasing by nature admits a brutal confession. You are above me. I am incomplete without you. I am lost without your attention. And no woman, no matter how compassionate, can respect a man who places her above his purpose. The builders versus the beggars. Look around you. The men who chase. Always exhausted, always confused, always asking, what did I do wrong? The men who build. Steady. Focused. Powerful. Surrounded by people, including women, drawn to their orbit like planets to the sun. Because power is magnetic. Because purpose is intoxicating. Because self-respect is irresistible. The builder does not move to impress. He moves because he must. He is on a mission larger than lust. Larger than approval. Larger than momentary affection. His empire calls louder than any text tone. His vision burns brighter than any fleeting flirtation. He is building. A body that can endure. A mind that can solve. A heart that can withstand. A spirit that can inspire. And women? They don't chase him because he begged. They chase because he built a life worth chasing. He is the prize, and he knows it. The energy shift, from chaser to creator. Every second you spend analyzing her behavior is a second stolen from your own growth. Every hour spent refreshing your phone is an hour you could have spent building your empire. Every day wasted mourning her absence is a day robbed from your destiny. The shift is simple, but brutal. Backhand index pointing right, stop asking, how do I get her? Backhand index pointing right, start asking, how do I build me? Because when you build a life so rich, so vast, so unstoppable, you don't chase women. You choose among them. You don't plead for loyalty. You inspire it naturally. You don't force connection. You become the gravity they cannot resist. That is power. That is leadership. That is freedom. 2. You can mourn what left. Or you can become so rooted that nothing can shake you again. Loss is a brutal teacher. The relationship that collapsed. The woman who ghosted you. The betrayal you never saw coming. It leaves scars. It shakes foundations. It whispers lies. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I'll never be enough. And in that pain, many men fall. They mourn endlessly. Checking her profile like an addict. Replaying every conversation. Wondering what they could have said differently, been differently, done differently. But here's the iron law of masculine growth. Pain is not the problem. Stagnation is. Pain can build or break you. You can let pain define you. Become the bitter man. The resentful man. The broken man. Or you can let pain refine you. Become the resilient man. The rooted man. The unshakable force. You must choose. Build a fortress from your heartbreak, or drown inside it. Plant deeper roots through rejection, or be blown apart by every passing storm. What rooted men understand? Rooted men do not resist loss. They accept it as part of the cost of greatness. They understand. Some people are scaffolding, meant to help build you, then fall away. Some rejections are divine protection, removing distractions from your true path. Some endings are sacred, forcing you to become who you were too comfortable to be. Rooted men bless what leaves, and keep building. They don't pause their mission to mourn. They don't lose their self-worth with her departure. They let the pain forge depth, not despair. The invitation of pain. Every heartbreak invites you to become deeper, not shallower. Wiser, not colder. Stronger, not weaker. Every loss is an initiation. The question is not, why did she leave? The question is, what power within me was left unclaimed? Because when you truly root yourself in mission, meaning, and self-mastery, no woman can break you. No departure can derail you. No betrayal can define you. You will feel the sting, yes. But you will never kneel to it again. 3. You can seek validation. Or you can command respect by your very existence. Validation is a drug. Every like, every reply, every nod of approval, a tiny hit to soothe the gnawing ache of insecurity. But like all drugs, the high fades. And soon, you're left chasing more. More attention. More approval. More proof that you are enough. This is how men lose their power. By placing their value in the hands of others. By making their reflection dependent on mirrors they cannot control. Why validation seeking is emotional slavery. When you seek validation, you are no longer the author of your life. You are a character desperately auditioning for applause. You are enslaved to the shifting moods of strangers and lovers alike. You smile when you want to roar. You agree when you want to rebel. You diminish yourself to make others comfortable. And every time you do, you teach the world. I am not enough unless you tell me so. No woman respects the man who cannot validate himself. No kingdom is built by the man who asks for permission to exist. Commanding respect without words. The man who commands respect doesn't need to announce it. He doesn't need to boast, beg, or broadcast his worth. He simply is. His posture speaks before his mouth opens. His energy shifts the room before his name is known. His presence demands attention without asking. Because he knows. His value is intrinsic. His worth is non-negotiable. His mission is bigger than applause. He respects himself so profoundly that others can't help but mirror it. And the ones who don't? He simply walks past them, without anger, without negotiation, without hesitation. Because a man of value does not stop to explain his value. He simply keeps building. 4. Backhand index pointing right. Choose power. Power is not aggression. Power is not manipulation. Power is not dominance over others. Power is sovereignty over yourself. Over your emotions. Over your reactions. Over your mission. Power is moving without needing permission. Choosing without seeking consensus. Loving without losing yourself. The choice before you. Every day, you are offered two paths. The path of seeking, chasing women, applause, external approval. The path of building, forging a life so magnificent that validation becomes irrelevant. One path leaves you empty. The other leaves you legendary. Which one will you choose? V. Backhand index pointing right. Choose leadership. Leadership is not a title. It is a posture. A man who leads. Moves first. Speaks last. Takes the burden on his shoulders without complaint. Refuses to be ruled by fear, comfort, or emotional chaos. He does not wait for permission to act. He acts, and by doing so, invites others into greater versions of themselves. Including women. Because the truth few will say aloud is this. Women don't want to be the leader. Deep down, they yearn for a man they can trust to lead them. Not with force. Not with arrogance. but with clarity, strength, and unshakable direction. Be that man, and you won't need to chase. You will become the gravitational force that others cannot resist. 6. Backhand index pointing right. Choose yourself. You are the root. You are the mission. You are the kingdom. Every external thing you chase, love, money, status, is a reflection of your internal state. Neglect yourself, and the world will neglect you. Invest in yourself, and the world will mirror your worth. Choosing yourself means saying no to distractions. Saying yes to your evolution. Cutting off relationships that drain your energy. Refusing to shrink to make others comfortable. Building daily disciplines that honor your future self. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is sacred. Because when you are full, strong, clear, you can give to others without losing yourself. You can love without attachment. You can lead without controlling. You can live without fearing loss. Conclusion. When you choose yourself, the world has no choice but to follow. You don't need to chase anymore. You don't need to convince, plead, or perform. You simply need to become. Become so rooted in your purpose. Become so fierce in your self-respect. Become so relentless in your evolution that everything aligned with your greatness naturally gravitates toward you. And everything misaligned naturally falls away, without struggle, without drama, without loss. Because you were never chasing them. You were chasing your highest self all along. And now, you've caught him. You've become him. You've remembered who you were born